Okay, when I was 5 years old, my mom asked me why I was cutting my underwear, to which I replied, as the day goes on, my tummy gets bigger and it hurts, and the pants become uncomfortable and my underwear become uncomfortable. And so then she brought me to the doctor with complaints of stomach aches, to which I was prescribed Pepsid AC. And then I came back because my tummy aches never went away, and this time I was told it was growing pains. The next time I went back, I was 11 and I started getting my period, and it was giving me severe nausea to the point where I couldn't eat, and it was causing me to vomit to the point where I could hardly even leave the bathroom, and the pain was so bad I couldn't even move, so I would often find myself just laying on the bathroom floor to get through the day at 11 years old. And when I went to the doctor with those complaints, I was told it's normal. And then I went back when I was 13 because my head hurt a lot, and I would have something which I then learned was called a migraine. It was different from a headache, and that would last like 3 weeks, and it was always around, it would start before my period, stay during my period, and then leave like way after my period left. And I was told that that was called menstrual migraines, and for that I was prescribed a pill, which I went home and took, and it made me vomit, and it made me feel high as a kite as a 13-year-old child. And I said, I don't like how this makes me feel, so I stopped taking it. I would rather deal with the pain of a migraine, where I would have to hide in a dark room to myself and hope it went away, instead of taking that shit. So then I went back a year later at 14 with more complaints of period pain. This time I was prescribed something called a contraceptive, birth control. Wow. 14 years old. From that point forward, for the next 10 years, every 1 to 2 years, my birth control would have to change because it would stop working, which meant that it was no longer masking symptoms. Why was it no longer masking symptoms? Because it was for birth control, not to treat an undiagnosed underlying root cause, and in my case, disease. So at 25 years old, I got off birth control and I decided, I'm married now. Let's try to have a baby. By 28, I still hadn't got pregnant. So I went back to the doctor 2 years later, 30 years old now. I'm at the doctor and I'm telling her about my periods. And for the first time in my life at 30 years old, 25 years after the onset of symptoms, the doctor said to me, I believe you have something called endometriosis. Have you ever heard of it? And then I went on to lose my left ovary and my appendix, and I had something called an endometrioma burst during surgery.